Welcome to the JSC. Lots of corporate news coming out, but the one that we are highlighting at this particular moment is Pick n Pay's results. The South African grocery retailer released their year-end results, and of course with headline earnings per share down 21.4%. And we did see their sales in their core food up 10%, and liquor and tobacco sales, they fell by about 31%. And of course, they were impacted by COVID-19. But to talk to us about the actual performance for the year and future plans, we are joined by David North, who is the Group Executive for Strategy and Corporate Affairs at Pick n Pay. David, thank you so much for your time. Let's look back at the year that was for Pick n Pay, especially when you're operating in an environment in the middle of a pandemic as well as lockdown bans.
Good afternoon, Nastasia. It's great to be on your program. As you say, it's been an extraordinary year, and our full year results took place almost entirely, apart from a week or so, within the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. So the results that we've issued today are ones that we think would be very good in normal circumstances and extraordinarily good in the circumstances that we had. So, for example, we had 209 trading days lost due to restrictions that the government imposed to limit the COVID-19 pandemic, whether that was sales of liquor or tobacco, general merchandise, clothing at different times. We also incurred additional costs, both direct costs, understandably, in terms of trying to keep customers and colleagues safe in our stores, and we had costs in respect of a compensation scheme for employees who left the business. So all of that means that we think that both in terms of sales, where we led the market on core food and groceries, and indeed earnings, which once you look into the direct costs of compensation schemes, we think shows a very, very strong result.
Based on the data that you analyze when you look at shopping activity within all your stores, what's your sense of the South African consumer in terms of affordability and spend?
Well, the consumer, I think what customers are saying to us, first of all, is thank you for being there throughout COVID. That's both to us and to our rivals in the market. If you remember, the COVID pandemic started off with a spell of panic buying when everybody was worried about whether the supply chain would hold. Actually, it did hold, and it's held extremely well. And on that basis, every retailer has performed very well. On your specific point, absolutely, customers are feeling the pinch. That customers are feeling that their budgets are very, very limited. People unfortunately have lost their jobs, they've lost hours, etc. And therefore, one of our huge focuses this year has been to make sure that we keep prices as low as possible. And that's meant running our supply chain more efficiently. It's meant buying better. It's meant running our stores more efficiently. And as a result, we've been able to help customers more with lower prices. And that's why our internal inflation, we were very pleased to say, is below the government's figures in terms of CPI food.
What does the strategy entail when it comes to locking in more of those low to middle income communities? And how does that relate to your Pick n Pay value and Boxer supermarkets?
Well, we see that as a very, very exciting growth area in the market. So if we're looking at middle and lower income customers, there's a huge number of customers there, a huge number of families who essentially are looking to improve their lifestyles, their diets, and are looking to deliver a better life for themselves and their families. And we think that both through our Boxer business, which we are confident is the best limited range discounter providing exceptional value at that part of the market, and through our Pick n Pay value stores. So now, customers are welcome at every single Pick n Pay, but within our business, we've organised it so that we now have select stores that cater for higher income customers. Then we have what we're calling the core stores in the middle and value stores that you refer to, and in each of those, we want to provide exceptional value and exceptional choice for customers.
Let's look at your capital investment. I mean, in the beginning of last year, we had many companies holding back on capital spend, and that was to preserve cash, and many companies around the world actually embarked on it. Now that we're coming to a world where we might see a post-COVID world, vaccinations could start picking up, what does your capital investment strategy look like for the next year?
Well, as you say, Nastasia, we didn't actually hold back on capital investment this year. We had a period during the toughest level 5 lockdown, and I think level 4, where we couldn't roll out capital investment on new stores. We were busy in that time improving our systems within the business while we couldn't roll out new stores. But at the end of the day, we spent 1.6 billion rand in terms of capital investment. Opened 49 new supermarkets and other stores as well, in addition to the supermarkets. And we've got another 130 stores planned for this coming year. So we're very much believing in South Africa, believing in customers, and believing that we've got a job to do in terms of serving more customers in more communities.
And that's a nice segue into my next question. When you talk about believing in South Africa, I wanted to get your sense as to how confident you are about South Africa's economic recovery going forward for the rest of the year.
Well, the economy is extremely tough. Hopefully, as you mentioned the prospect of vaccination. Hopefully, if we can accelerate the vaccination program and get more and more people vaccinated and return to what we're calling in the business the new normal. I don't think we'll ever return to the normal we had before COVID. Then we can begin to instill some confidence in the economy. So we're seeing it as it's going to be very tough. Let's have no mistake about that. But we see our role as being one to make sure we continue to provide exceptional value for customers, and through that we can grow and open more stores, and hopefully in that way make our contribution to the growth of the economy that we all want to see.
All right, David, thank you so much for your time. Let's leave it there. That is David North, who is the Group Executive of Strategy and Corporate Affairs at Pick n Pay.